Hi, my name is Ritu Shah, and this is my discussion for AI and what's missing. What really stood out to me most in part three of the discussion is how clearly you highlighted the real missing component or missing piece in the whole AI conversation. It's not that AI is dangerous because it's too powerful. It's dangerous because people stop using their minds. People stop thinking once AI enters the room. And that is something that really hit me because as students and future clinicians, it's very important. We talk so much about whether AI can diagnose, predict the outcomes, form out your treatment protocol, generate programs, but rarely we question what happens when we slowly outsource our entire judgment to it without even realizing it. It's not even laziness, but it's the fact that if you know that you have ChatGPT and DeepSeek or Gemini or whatever, you're not even going to put your 2 cents in. You're not even going to put your human thoughts into it. My biggest takeaway is that AI can imitate patterns. It can give you a text or a paragraph, but it can't understand the context of an action or the little nuances that happen in everyday life or everyday movement, and it doesn't understand the emotional landscapes that the patient lives in. So, say if you ask the patient to perform walking, and you see that slight bit of hesitation in the patient's eyes, or you feel like a patient is spiraling into avoidance because of fear. All these things are things that you understand, you can see with your visible eye, you can feel with human perception. It's what makes us human. But but AI can't capture that. Any algorithm or any computer can't capture all these emotions, and this is what makes us human. This is the difference between progress and withdrawal, and I think that is the most important thing. And using AI on a regular basis on a clinical setup, in a clinical setup, is this is the only disadvantage. It's going to take the humanity out of the whole situation. I love the point about how you said people just assume more data is equal to better decisions, when in reality, if you don't have context and if you don't have clinical reasoning, more data is just going to confuse you more. Like just how athletes with better gear don't automatically perform better, they have to know how to do it. I think AI doesn't automatically make clinicians smarter. So you need to have the basic understanding of how to work AI to your favor. And this, if anything, AI, it exposes the gap between information and understanding. And you can clearly see it. You can clearly see a paragraph and be like, oh my god, this is completely done by AI. And you can see a second paragraph and it might have been using AI for help, but there are human touches to it. So, this is the part that is missing. AI isn't a shortcut to expertise. The thinking still has to come from within us. Somewhere, I also think that now, as and when the AI generation is rising, and AI is going to be a very big part of our lives, even bigger than it is right now. I think workspaces and companies and our employers should also have less expectations, because we turn to AI because we're expected to dole out an entire 3 word paragraph or 3 paragraph document or very detailed explanations of stuff, and that is why we turn to AI or computers to do the work for us. But if they want to save the human touch, they're going to need to ask us like very specific things which only human clinicians can provide their judgment on. I think that's my 2 cents about it. Another thing I liked about the professor mentioning the addiction mechanisms and the comparison drawn with it. It also made a lot of sense. So, because if AI keeps making things easier, faster, and more convenient for us, we risk developing a dependency on AI. And when I say dependency, I mean that you don't even trust yourself to make the correct judgment without AI. I it's a very big possibility that this might happen, and it's very dangerous in a clinical rehab setup, because here there is a lot of variation and it's always unpredictable. Unpredictability is the norm in rehab, and the perfect AI generated handout or a program made for the patient via AI or a list, it means nothing if I'm not present enough mentally and physically to adapt that plan according to my patient's changes in the symptoms. The patient is always not going to feel 4 on 10 pain or weakness in one side and another. In everyday clinical setup, patient walks in just fine one day, has a both like a lot of pain on the next day, is walking stiffly one day, is walking freely the other, and for no particular reason. These are very variable and highly unpredictable things which a predetermined AI program cannot solve. So, when you asked what is missing, my answer is we are missing. We, the humans, or we, our human intuition, our ability to interpret, to feel, and to pick up the subtle stuff, the nuances. Humans are missing, we are missing to build trust, to build a rapport, to build real human connection. The only scenario where AI can elevate us is when we ourselves stay awake, curious, and actively a part of the thinking process. Otherwise, it's just like giving somebody a world class, say, running track without even, like, them being trained to run without like run with intention. So it's like giving a weapon in a person's hand and them not knowing how to use it, right? So in the end, stronger AI doesn't replace the need for stronger clinicians. It increases the need for stronger clinicians, because the more advanced the tools become, the more responsibility we have to preserve the things that AI can't copy, which is judgment, empathy, presence, and connection.